These rocky shores where I call home, where my heart longs to be. Whenever I roam, it's these rocky shores, it's where I long to be. Yes, it's these rocky shores, they are home to me.
Whenever I leave here, it hurts me so, with tears in my eyes. Oh, I hate to go. There ain't no work, and the kids need new clothes. The bills need paying, so I must go.
These rocky shores, where I call home, where my heart longs to be. Whenever I roam, yes, these rocky shores, it's where I long to be. Yes, these rocky shores, they're home to me.
I think to myself, where did it all go? The life I once had on the ocean's gentle road. My tears in my eyes and my head in my hands, away from my family, I hope they understand.
That is these rocky shores, where I call home, it's where my heart longs to be. Whenever I roam, yes, these rocky shores, where I long to be. Yes, these rocky shores, they are home to me. Yes, these rocky shores, they are home to me.
Good evening and welcome to this week in review. Tonight's stories include MHA Bell Ramsey gave us an early Christmas gift, the Anglican Mitten Tree was a great success, the A.J. Matthews held their Christmas concert. These stories plus community events, the BBS Playbill, Off the Rack and more coming up after this. The Burgeo Broadcasting System, along with the Board of Directors and the volunteers, would like to wish you and yours a Merry Christmas and a safe and prosperous New Year. MHA Bell Ramsey called the BBS office on Friday morning to give the residents of Burgeo our early Christmas gift. $4.2 million has been allocated for the school part of the community recreation complex. Good morning. Today we have on the phone with us Mr. Ramsey. Good morning, Mr. Ramsey.
Good morning, Marie.
How are you?
Oh, I'm feeling really good this morning. We have some really good news.
Yes.
I'd like to pass along to yourselves and through you to the people of Burgeo. We are today announcing the funding for a schools program where we are going to fund the schools that are a priority in the province. And I've been able to secure $4.2 million for Burgeo to look after the educational funding side of the school and community complex that we are planning. And very elated with this news. Even on the way through it, with the Premier's recent visit and the commitment of some of the funding to do the planning and design, we didn't know for sure and really hadn't expected to get the funding so quickly. But the Premier and I had discussions and realized the saw this as a priority for the province, and we together pushed all of the other members of the cabinet to have this secured, and that $4.2 million I think is an excellent demonstration to the people of Burgeo for the community's future, and we are very, very pleased to deliver on this commitment to replace the two existing schools for a new multi-grade school, and we are continuing to detail the actual funding required to do the other part of the community complex, because as everyone is aware, the school side, we can very quickly come to a figure as to exactly what we need to spend. But for the community complex and the overall design, we have to have that design before we can finalize any details as to the extra amount for admitted to the community complex model, and that was part of the way that we managed to secure this money, because the Premier did really like the proposal, and the Cabinet has looked at it and given it their approval. So I'm overjoyed with the news, and it's really an excellent Christmas present for the people of Burgeo, and I do want to congratulate all of the people who helped put this together. Certainly it was a strong effort of those in the educational area, Dr. Barbara Barter and the committee certainly deserve mention and recognition. Mayor Alistair Han for excellent leadership in helping bring this to the front, and School Board Director Andy Butt and school staff, Blaine Marks and others, and the Recreation Committee certainly have all played a role in helping Burgeo secure this funding for school, for a new all-grade school ahead of time. So really, really good news.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Ramsey. That is indeed very good news. I'm sure people of Burgeo will be very glad. Like you said, a very early Christmas gift.
Yes, we're really pleased to be able to do this, and it's a method that we've changed the funding mechanism that we've used for the way we finance schools, and Burgeo is one of the first to be done in the province under this, and we really do feel good about this. We know it demonstrates to all of the people of the Burgeo who are concerned about the commitment of government and industry to the area. We're continuing to work hard for the people of Burgeo to secure industrial benefits for the future through the fish plant. We've had really good progress on the political side in securing the necessary resource, and we're not ready to make any kind of announcement or anything yet, but we think in the near future that good, productive decisions will come, and this also will bode well for that. Having the school secured and knowing that government is fully committed to the community helps industrial partners such as Seafreeze in making their decisions. So I want to wish each and every family in Burgeo, all of the people in the area, a very, very Merry Christmas and a healthy, prosperous, and happy New Year. This is, like I say, I don't think the people have even been expecting it, but it certainly is good news for everyone, and I think that it'll be very, very nice New Year for the people of Burgeo, and on behalf of my wife Jackie, my four girls, Michelle and Krista, Lori and Lisa, and my whole family, we certainly sincerely want to wish everyone a very, very Merry Christmas.
And thank you, Mr. Ramsey, and the very same back to you.
Well, Marie,
Excuse me.
to you and Claude at the BBS, we're very hopeful that you will continue to do your good work for the people of Burgeo in the area. And also, I do want to note as well, your local newspaper, one of the strongest community newspapers in the province, the Southwest Times. You're very unique to have a newspaper like that in a small community. It certainly shows dedication and determined effort on behalf everyone for sticking it out through all of this difficulty up to this point, and look forward to making 1999 the year for Burjo's revitalization and certainly rejuvenation on into the future.
Mr. Ramsey, excuse me, do you have a few minutes for a few questions?
Yes, certainly.
Okay. When do you expect tenders to be called now for this new school?
Well, we do have to do the planning first and get all of the details, because of course tender documents and that can't be done until then. And that will be a key part of our devising the necessary details to do an analysis for the funding for the community complex side of the equation.
Okay.
So, we will be working on this immediately, and once the work starts on getting the municipal affairs effort done, then once we reach that point, and I'd say that this will be in a couple of months, once we reach the point of nailing down exactly what the costs will be in an estimated manner, then we will go forward with the program. So, I'd say in a matter of months we will be able to get tenders out for the construction.
Well, very good. So after the tenders are called, how long will it take then for the construction to begin?
Well, normally I'm just doing an estimate based on other activity that I've seen.
Yes.
Once you get your planning and engineering and everything done, that can take, the overall engineering and planning can take anywhere from say 6 months to 9 months. And this is to make sure that you have it, you can make that part of the overall, program for tender. But in this case, it's a necessary part because we have to secure the other funding necessary to do the community complex. And we have to know exactly how much funding we're looking for. So it's going to take a little while, a number of months to get that all nailed down. But the funding for the educational side of it is secure and in place, and the amount that we've allocated is $4.2 million for that element of it, and then we'll work on the other and have that all finalized prior to any tenders being called.
Okay. And now what does this mean for Burjo in terms of jobs, like during the construction phase of the school?
Well, as I've already given a commitment to the people of Burjo, I've explained to them that we will do whatever we can to maximize local job benefits with construction, and we're very, very pleased to be able to deliver this. I do want to, if I could,
Yes.
I do have a guest who's walked in here currently, and he was instrumental in assisting us, and I want him to also mention to the people of Burjo, the former Minister of Education who carried the ball with me on this is here with me. Roger Grimes is now the Minister of Mines and Energy, and certainly his hard work and effort on my behalf has helped, and I'll just put him on the line, Marie.
Okay.
And he can give you a little bit of information about the way this should all unfold, and
Okay.
very pleased to have him here with me.
Okay.
You can just hang on a second. I'll put him on the line right now.
All right.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you very much. And how are you?
Great, thank
That's
you.
good.
Great.
Yes, Mr. Ramsey was saying that you could probably bring us up to date as to how we got to this point now with regards to the school complex in Burgeo.
Yeah, actually there have been a couple of things. There's been a need recognized for some time by the school board for the area that they needed to consolidate the school facilities, and they put in a proposal for, of course, a new school some time ago. We're not overly optimistic that they would get funded at this point in time, because when we looked at the provincial priorities a year or so ago, it was a little further down the list. But then as well, with Mr. Ramsey's, the MHA, a group of people started to explore the whole notion of doing more than just a school. And of course the Premier visited the area a while back and was apprised as well of the situation, was impressed with the concept, and came back and spoke to myself and a couple of other ministers about the possibility of proceeding with more than the school concept, the larger concept that's been contemplated. And the good news in this one is what Minister Foote is able to do today, along
Okay. So in other words, that the recreation complex part of the school is not a dead issue. It is still ongoing then?
No, not at all a dead issue from my understanding. I haven't and won't be involved directly now in the discussions, but the last discussion that I did have, which was about a week or so ago before the cabinet shuffle became a reality, was along the lines of giving instructions to the officials to now accelerate the process of the investigation with the other departments and the other agencies to look at securing on a timely basis funding for the rest of the complex idea, so that when we build the school, we will be ready, hopefully, to build pretty well the entire complex as put forward in the conceptual plan.
Oh, very good. Now, I know there's been some discussion about the site for this new school. Has there been a site chosen? Is that already determined?
Not to my knowledge. The site issue as well is one. There was a tentative site suggested as well,
Yes.
but I'm sure there will be further public discussion of that with opportunities, particularly in the community, for people to react. I understand that there's been some pretty broad-based community discussion in terms of the groups that are involved
Yes.
with the overall complex, that they've already come together and suggested that there may be an ideal site in Burgeo for the overall complex. But certainly there's been no decision made on a site finally. If there's any suggestion that there's a better location, there's an opportunity for that discussion to occur. The key component here is that the bulk of the funding required for the overall project is needed for the school part of the complex. The rest of the complex altogether comes up to another allocation of funding that doesn't match the total amount required for school. So over half of the funding is now secured for the school part of the complex. Other agencies and government departments have been apprised of it. They've expressed an interest in it. They will now be asked to accelerate their investigation of it, so that on a timely basis, hopefully they'll be able to come along as well and complete the whole complex idea rather than just do the school.
Okay. Can you give us any idea? I know Mr. Ramsey was saying, talking in terms of months. So can we look forward to having something started in Burgeo within probably 1999?
Well, certainly that'll be what will be started will be determined by these accelerated discussions now, but certainly funding for the planning stages can be secured from the education funding that's available.
Okay.
And the other departments will be asked to accelerate their exploration of funding for the remaining components of the overall concept for the complex. And there should be certainly a lot of planning activity happening fairly quickly. Whether or not, as I say it now, I guess from Mines and Energy, but whether or not rocks start to move and things start to move on the ground in a matter of weeks or months, I'm not certain. But very advanced planning will occur. Accelerated discussions will occur with other government departments and other agencies that are possible funding partners here for the overall complex. And I'm very encouraged, actually, that this is done, because this is the major chunk of the funding for this project. And
Yes.
I'm very optimistic and hopeful that they'll have success. And I know Mr. Ramsey is going to be very busy now chasing down the rest of the funding for this project.
Very good. Well, we thank you very much for your time this morning, Mr. Grimes.
Oh, my pleasure. Glad that I just dropped in to see Bill, actually, to wish him a Merry Christmas before he heads back to his district, and glad to have an opportunity to share a few comments with you. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, Marie,
Yes.
I have to go to the press conference now, so
Okay.
it's nice that we had Roger here.
Yes, very much. And well, thank you very, very much,
Let him know,
Mr. Ramsey, for joining us this
that we
morning.
appreciate it, and
Yep.
We'll go from there.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
All the best,
Yes, you too. Merry Christmas.
and to you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
This is a press release issued December the 18th, 1998 from our MHA, Bill Ramsey. It reads, Bill Ramsey, MHA for the District of Burgeo-La was pleased to participate in the news conference at the Confederation Building this morning, which was extremely good news for the people of Burgeo. A new kindergarten to grade 12 school is to be built in Burgeo to replace the two existing schools which currently serve the community. Ramsey, who was instrumental in securing the funds for this project, was extremely pleased to be able to bring the news to the people of Burgeo on this much-needed replacement for two aging schools. It is one of the most significant announcements for Burgeo and for our children. Burgeo has a bright future, and the government of Newfoundland and Labrador is committed to the people of the town. As I informed the people of Burgeo from the beginning, it will take a lot of hard lobbying on my part to secure the funding and to advance the concept of the school community complex, which I originally suggested to our local Recreation Commission. This has evolved into a proposed school community complex as supported by the school board, Ramsey says. He continued, "It takes a lot of hard work beyond the scenes to deliver a project like this. I have worked closely with Premier Tobin, Minister Roger Grimes, and current Minister Judy Foote to steer the project through the system every step along the way. The long-standing relationship I have had with Premier Tobin and our shared commitment to the people of Burgeo is demonstrated with this project, as we are completely committed to seeing the final touches put on this to finalize the details for the arena and the other shared community space, which are an intricate part of our plans for the facility." Ramsey offered thanks to Mayor Alistair Ann, Dr. Barbara Barter, Recreation Committee members Glenn Peterson and Peter Remmel, and to others who supported this project to help getting this early approval. I spoke with Mayor Ann this afternoon to get his reaction on the announcement about the new school. Today with us in our studio we have Mayor Ann with us. Good afternoon, Mayor Ann.
Good afternoon, Marie.
Yes, I guess you've heard about the announcement Mr. Ramsey made. How do you feel about the announcement of $4.2 million towards our new school?
Well, I'm really elated about it, Marie, because we've been working around this now for a couple of years, and it's only about a month ago I really thought we were probably looking at a couple of 3 years down the road before anything would have got started. But the announcement today that, $4.2 million has been approved is, that comes up with over one half of the money. And with over one half of the money being secured. And listening to Roger Grimes this morning and Mr. Ramsey, they feel quite confident that by the time that this project is started, that other monies will be secured. You see, we're also going to the federal government for some money for the other part of this project.
That would be the recreation complex.
That would be the recreation part of it. So when you're talking education, you're talking just one department, the Department of Education. But when we get into the recreation part of it, of course, you've got municipal affairs will be involved. There will be, I guess, recreation and youth, maybe even tourism, and then the federal government. Now, the federal government won't give money towards schools because that's a provincial domain, and they don't like anyone encroaching on their authority there. So now the thing is really moving, as far as I'm concerned, that I think we'll see the pace will pick up. And in fact, Mr. Ramsey told me this morning on the phone that he really feels by the time that the sod is turned for the school, that everything will be put in place regarding the recreation complex. So, that makes me feel real good, it certainly does.
During Mr. Tobin's visit there in September, I believe he mentioned something about providing funding for you for the planning.
Yes, that was just a conceptual drawing. He said he wanted conceptual drawings to look at first before they give the project their full support. And he made the funding available then for us to get those drawings done. These drawings have been completed. They arrived in Burgeo this morning. And Andy Butt and Don DeCesar and maybe a few others will be coming to Burgeo early in January. And we'll be sitting down and going over those drawings and maybe moving a little bit faster as far as getting the final drawings done for both complexes.
So what will you do with the drawings themselves? Will you be like just looking them over and changing anything that you feel that needs to be changed, or? Oh
yes, well they're certainly open for change. The drawings are. They're only conceptual of what Atlantic Engineering, that's their concept of what they feel the project in Burgeo should look like. You can take out rooms, you can put in rooms, and so on. So, but this is a good start. And the Premier's announcement this morning, if you'd looked down through it, you would have saw that everything else was put down as for a new school, new school, new school, but Burgeo was a new complex facility.
Facility,
It didn't
yes.
say school.
That's right.
So, you know, they're well informed of what's going on in Burgeo, and I'm really optimistic that it's going to come about,
Very good.
and faster than we really thought it would.
Yes, because I believe at that time you mentioned something about it could be like 5 years down the road.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you brought your conceptual floor plans with you today.
Yes, I brought the conceptual drawings over here today for you to view, and that.
So could we have a look at them? And
Well, they're here on the wall. There's not much that really you can pass out, but looking at those drawings, if you look at them, this here, it looks to me as if this is the entrance
okay.
where you would come in through. This is called, what is it, Burgeo Community School
Okay.
there. So you go in through, and then on one wing over this way
Yeah.
is probably all school, and over
Okay.
this way is arena and swimming pool.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So that's as I make from it now, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
And this shows us the right elevation and the left elevation, what it's going to look on the end. This is the front. This would be what it looks in one end, and this is what the other end will look like.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is the rear of the building here. And again, they got the Burgeo Community Complex. And for some reason, I think this here is the recreation complex.
Okay.
And this
yeah.
over here is the school complex. But
okay,
that could
yeah.
be reversed. I'm not
Okay.
that good
Yeah.
at those things.
Yeah.
But they do look like it's going to be a
Very impressive building.
impressive building, a large building for a town this size.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, over here is the conceptual drawing of what they feel it might look like inside. And as I was saying, all on this side you've got school. You know, you've got I school, science rooms, multi-purpose room. Then you come into the kindergarten and primary.
Yeah.
And then over there they've got elementary
Oh,
levels.
okay. Yes. Yeah.
Then if you go across the corridor,
Yeah.
here they've got bathrooms and washrooms, lockers, and so on.
Yeah.
And then you've got the arena.
Yeah. That's pretty noticeable there, isn't it?
Right there's the arena.
Yeah.
And here's the bleachers. 186 persons can be
Okay.
seated on this side, and another 186 on this side.
Yeah.
And then we've got the refrigeration plant, the boiler room, ice cleaning equipment, Zamboni, and so on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that would take in the
Mhm.
arena part of it. And as I say, over here we've got the community library. There's a music room, cafeteria, multi-purpose room, and a broadcast room there for BBS, and a room for the museum, general office space, and so on.
Yeah.
Then you moves over into changing rooms and so on, and gets into the swimming pool.
Very good.
So, you know, it's
It's certainly an impressive
quite a
looking building.
complex, but at the same time, there's nothing there that's carved in stone. You know, if when we sit down in January, none of this pleases anybody, well, then you can tear all that up and
Yeah.
and
Well,
begin
like you
again.
say, it's only on paper, so certainly could be changed if you wanted it to be.
And if anyone would wish, they want to drop by the town hall and just look at those drawings and pass in their comments, well, of
Yeah.
course, there's no problem with that.
Very good. Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. I really am. That
So I guess
it'll create quite a few jobs in Burgeo over the period until our plant gets stabilized a little bit, and then as far as I'm concerned, it was a good announcement, and certainly was a good gift for the people of Burgeo.
certainly very was. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess now when those people come out in January, that's what you'll be doing, looking at this with a fine-tooth comb type of thing, and
That's what we'll be doing.
yeah,
Yep.
picking it apart and see what's going to work and what's not.
That's right.
Very good. Yeah, it's certainly an impressive looking building, though, isn't it?
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, a lot of people might not think so.
Well, yeah. That's a matter of opinion, right? Very good.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just want to ask the people of Burgeo to hang in there and be patient, pass along their suggestions, and it's almost getting to the point of where there cannot be too many more suggestions. It's soon going to start to be you're going to see drawings that's going to be carved in stone,
Yes.
and the building will start to move forward.
Yeah, so if anybody out there who got any concerns or whatnot about what's going to happen in the school, probably a good idea for them to drop by and
look
have
at
a look at it. And
That's
pass
right.
on your suggestions before it's too late. It's too much,
Yeah.
kind of too late then to, like you say, when it's carved in stone.
That's right. Yeah. Well, the only one right now that seems to be that there, if anyone took notice when I went through, there is no space allocated for a gymnasium in this school. It was the concept that the gymnasium, that the arena could be used 4 months for hockey, and the remainder of the year could supplement the gymnasium. Now, whether that's going to fly or not, I don't really know.
Yeah.
But as it stands right now, that was our planning when the conceptual drawings was done, that the new school would not have a gymnasium, but I guess that can easily be changed.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. Well, thank you very much for joining us today and bringing your plans with you.
Okay, you're welcome.
And we'll
Marie.
look forward to seeing to you in January when your committee gets together and see what the results of that is.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
For years, the LOBA has wanted a new kitchen. They finally got their wish. We visited the lodge on Thursday where worthy Mistress Sheila Oxford, Treasurer Joyce Green, and committee member Biddy Strickland proudly showed us their new kitchen. The project started on July the 6th and was completed at the end of November. The money for the kitchen came from several fundraising projects including a wake-a-thon, meat deals, and a fish supper. The ladies also received donations from the RBP and the LOL. All the lodge members are quite pleased with the results. Sheila Oxford told us it was more convenient to have a kitchen downstairs. It means that maybe now more seniors will be able to come to their social gatherings now that they don't have to climb the steep stairs. The kitchen will be used for the first time for the seniors party. The LOBA would like to thank all LOL members who helped in any way with the constructions of the kitchen. Also thanks to the public for supporting their fundraisers. Worthy Mistress Sheila Oxford has some very special thanks from the LOBA.
I have a special thanks are extended to our brothers, Hubert Sims, Ingrid Young, Jim Porter, Jim Swift, Mike Youngs, and John Youngs for their dedication and support over the summer months when they donated all their time and talent in building an extension on our lodge to serve as a kitchen. So I thank myself personally. I got a lot of thanks to those men.
The St. John's the Evangelist Church Vestry Outreach Committee has sponsored a mitten tree since November 1991. This project was started by Louise Moulton back in 1991 when she was chairperson of the Outreach Committee. Each year, starting on the first Sunday in Advent, a tree has been placed in the Anglican Church and members of the congregation are asked to donate knitted goods to this very worthwhile cause. As in past years, this year was very successful. 91 pairs of mittens, 3 pairs of gloves, 116 pairs of socks, 2 sweaters, 5 scarves, 13 caps, and 4 pairs of slippers were donated. Committee chairperson Jessie Skinner invited a group of ladies to help pack the items. Of course, they shared a bit of fellowship as well. The knitted goods will be shipped to Montreal in care of Anne Robson, chairperson of the Refugee Committee there. Miss Robson will be responsible for distributing these items to the refugees coming into Canada, just in time for Christmas. Among the knitted goods were a pair of mittens donated by 89-year-old Mrs. Lydia Green, a resident of the Calder Health Care Center. Stay with us for more of This Week in Review coming up after this. As you visit your friends and family this holiday season, keep in mind a designated driver. Please don't drink and drive. As part of their What a Story unit, the grade 8 students held a presentation on Tuesday at the school for their parents. In this unit, Mr. Lou Vatcher's class and Mrs. Doris Pink's class studied stories. What does a story do? Where do stories come from? As well as the different parts of a story. The students decided to perform one of the oldest groups of stories, the fairy tales. There were 6 groups. Some of the fairy tales included the Three Little Pigs, Goldilocks, Sleeping Beauty, Little Red Riding Hood, and Hansel and Gretel. Mrs. Pink told me that the students wrote their own script. Everything else was done on the presentation was done at home. Some of the fairy tales were done the old-fashioned way, but some add a new twist. Goldilocks in this fairy tale got her just reward.
Wait a minute, there he is. Come in. Bring a hand on that. It's right when it starts.
In this new version of the Three Little Pigs, the big bad wolf was someone we can all probably identify. Identify. All the students' presentations were well done, and we hope Mr. Batcher and Mrs. Pink are very generous with their grading. On Sunday, December the 13th, we had Santa and Mrs. Claus in our studio. Santa had a steady flow of phone calls. Some children would like Santa to put some unusual items in their stocking. One child wanted a tractor, but he also wanted sand in his stocking to go along with the tractor. Another child wanted garbage to go along with his truck. Each year around Christmas time, children will ask Santa to bring some popular games and toys. This year the hot items were the Spice Girl dolls and the Teletubbies.
Oh, very popular, Mrs. Claus.
We might have to get the Hales making some more of those.
That's for sure, that's for sure.
Yes. Hello,
Hi,
Hi, what's your name?
Jeanette
Jeanette. And what's your last name, Jeanette?
Tucker,
Jeanette Tucker, eh? And what would you like for Christmas, Jeanette?
a Teletubby.
A Teletubby. Any?
Hi, this is Santa.
Santa,
Yes, what's your name?
Brittany J. Ballard.
Brittany Jane Dillard.
Hi, Brittany, and what would you like for Santa to bring you?
A Spice Girl doll.
A Spice Girl doll. Is there any particular one?
What?
Is there any one that you would like to have? Or is there in the Spice Girl?
Yeah,
Which one?
Emma.
Emma.
Emma,
Okay.
hey?
She's pretty popular.
Yeah, she's really popular, yes.
Anything else, Brittany?
An oven set.
An oven. Are you going to bake some cookies and cakes if you get your oven?
Yeah, and I'm going to send one up to you two.
Gonna
And you're
send one
gonna-
to the North Pole.
Oh, oh, oh. That'll be nice, Brittany.
We'll try to get your oven.
Hey.
Okay, wristlers and CD players. Hello.
Hi,
Oh, 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 this is Santa. What's your name?
Chili.
Hi, Kelly. And what would you
Chili.
like?
Shelley.
Oh, it's Shelly. I'm sorry.
Is it Shelley James?
Yep.
Okay, how is Shelley James today?
Good.
And what would you like for Santa to bring you?
A Sony PlayStation.
Sunny PlayStation?
Yep. A talking Teletubby.
Okay.
Talking Teletubby, okay.
And clothes.
Some clothes. What size are you into, Shelley?
Size 8 and 7.
Okay, 7 and 8 for Shelley.
Okay.
And CDs and surprises.
CD and surprises. What's your favorite band, Shelley?
Hanson.
The Ansons.
Oh,
Those
oh,
singing boys.
oh, yeah. Santa liked those too.
Anything else?
Nope.
Have you been a good girl all year?
Yep.
And have
Okay.
you got your gift for Mom and Dad yet?
Yep.
That's
Okay.
good.
We'll see you on Christmas Eve.
My friend Nikki wants to talk to you.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
You must be Nikki.
Yes.
And what's your last name, Nikki?
Porter.
Nikki
Nick-
Porter.
Nikki Porter, eh? And what would you like for Christmas, Nikki?
2 singing Space Girl dolls.
2 singing Spice Girl dolls. Which ones?
Victoria and Jerry.
Victoria and Jerry.
Okay.
A talking Teletubby.
A talking Teletubby.
Okay.
You better talk to Shelley's Teletubby.
Oh, yes.
Anything else?
surprises.
Some surprises. They're always nice, aren't they?
Yeah, and
On Thursday night, the A.J. Matthews School entertained their parents with a Christmas concert. The students recited poems, sang songs, and performed short skits. Let's take a look at the grade 3 class performing. Now over to Mayor Ann with the council report.
Okay. Good evening. The Burgeo Town Council held its regular meeting on December the 16th, 1998. Items discussed at that meeting were: the town manager advised us that the conceptual drawings for the Education Recreation Complex have been completed by Atlantic Engineering. These drawings are now being circulated to the board members, and the members will be looking them over during the Christmas period. And early in January, there should be a meeting between the Stephenville School Board or Atlantic Engineering and the members from Burgeo on that board. So we'll be able to give you a further update on what's happening regarding that facility. The Municipalities Act is undergoing a complete revision. In this regard, the town manager, the town clerk, Councillor Warren, and myself attended a seminar in Corner Brook. Now, this act is being changed almost entirely, but there's one part that it is proposed to change, which we as the town council feel affects us quite seriously, and that is the part where property is owned jointly by two spouses, and both spouses are working. As it is now, one spouse pays the property tax, and the other spouse pays a poll tax. It is proposed that this will be eliminated from the Act, whereby there will only be one person paying the property tax and there will be no poll tax for the other partner. Now this has serious consequences for a town like ours, because what it means that we would lose approximately $26,000 per year. And what it would mean is that we would have to jump your taxes up. And looking at the overall picture, you would have a person where there's only one wage earner in a family. That person would see his taxes go up. But where there's two people working in that family, that person would see a decline, because the poll tax is $140 a year. So therefore, you know, your taxes wouldn't jump by $140, but at the same time, we do consider this to be unfair to the person who's only got one wage earner in that family. So our town has written our objections to this change in the Act. Maybe you can help in some way when you see your member, Mr. Ramsey, or call him and advise him that, you know, you just don't support this change. That's if you don't support it. It really does seem to be unfair, and make no mistake about it, that if we lose $26,000 of revenue, then it's definitely got to be made up somewhere. And this is due to come into effect of January the year 2000. At our meeting, we approved a pay raise for our employees. The employees have not had a raise since 1991. They were given a 7% increase over a 3-year period. Beginning in 1999, they will receive 3%. Year 2000 will be 2%, and the year 2001, they receive another 2%. Even though, you know, times are not good, you just can't leave people at the same pay scale forever and ever and ever. The subject of our development officer was discussed, and it is Burgeo's hope that there will be another development officer appointed to Burgeo. I've had discussion, and so have the Burgeo Development Board, a discussion with Mr. Tom Hutchings and Mr. Craig Williams. They're not sure what will happen, but they're leaving everything open until March the 31st. At the present time, there's going to be a coordinator will fill the job in Burgeo, will occupy the office. That appointment should be made around mid-January. And while I say that we would like to have a full-time development officer, it is quite possible that we may have to share a development officer between Burgeo and Ramia. That's not what we would like, but we're not so fortunate as probably a town like Stephenville and some of the larger towns that can afford their own development officer. In our case, we only pay a very small portion of the salary and the operations of this office. So therefore, I guess the best way to say it is that the department that pays the piper calls the tune. So that's open until March, and we're hoping that we do get a development officer. It's something that we definitely need in Burgeo. Regarding our budgets, we hope early in January to have a meeting to finalize our budget. The hold up right now is really our hospital. It's come to our attention that the hospital is privately owned. If this is being the case, then therefore, if it's privately owned, it's subject to taxation. If, and I say if, and also when we find out who owns the hospital, that's the process we're in at the present time, we can tax it, and that would mean $20,000 a year to our revenue. So I don't have to explain to you how welcome another $20,000 would be to our town. I just give you some idea what's been happening. Our municipal operating grant in 1993 was $178,110. In 1999, our municipal operating grant will be $76,740. Now that's a big cut of over $100,000. You know, it seems like the provincial government goes to Ottawa and wants them to give them more money, but I don't know if they look hard enough at their own affairs as far as what they're doing to the municipalities. But make no mistake about it, we're looking at the figures real close, and I do have hopes that we will not have to increase our taxes. But anyway, that'll come early in the new year. Our water system, the town manager advises that there will be 2 engineers from the Department of Municipal Affairs visiting Burgeo early in January, and that will be to look at our water system. We're really thinking seriously of some way that we can improve the quality of water that we have in our town. But having said that, I have got to point out something that Council considers very serious, and that is not the use of water, but the abuse of water that is going on in this town. At the present time, our town is running through 710 gallons per minute. That's 42,600 gallons a hour. 1,022,000 gallons per day. You know, that's way, way too much water for a town this size. Burgeo I can't say using, is abusing 1/2 the amount of water that a town the size of Port aux Basques is using. And that's way, way too much. I fully agree. Many of you have got to run your taps to keep your water from freezing. But, and some say that the reason they got to run it is because it freezes on the section owned by the municipality. But, you know, you go in some homes and the water's running in the bathroom, it's running in the kitchen, it's running all over the house. You know, certainly that's not council's responsibility once it gets in your home. And I think many of you could really look at the 1/2 inch line which you're running and look very seriously at coming down to maybe a 1/4 inch line, or maybe even 1/8 of an inch line. You certainly do not have to run gallons and gallons of water per hour just to keep the line from freezing. And make no mistake about it, it's costing us a fortune in the chemicals which is needed to treat our water. And that is one way which you can help us meet our budget, is to just look at your own piece of property and see if there isn't some way you can run your tap a little bit more conservatively. That was all of the matters from the town council. However, just prior to coming to the studio here this afternoon, I received a call from Mr. Bill Barry, and I can pass on to you that he is very, very enthusiastic about this exploratory crab fishery which was conducted. He has assured me that once a quota has been approved, and as soon as it is known, that he'll be in Burgeo the next day. He guarantees me that. He said you've had people in here and checked the refrigeration equipment out. It's way better than he expected it to be, and that was a good sign. And he has given me every guarantee that if the fish is there, if we get it for $19.99, he'll be there just as sure as anything. And he referred me, he said, if you want to, tell the people, just ask Bruce Thatcher what he wrote on his Christmas card this year. And he tells me that he wrote there, Bruce, hopefully you will not have to leave Burgeo next year to work. So I'm very upbeat about this and enthusiastic, and I feel that 1999 our fish plant is going to be open, it's going to be operating, and I feel that the year 2000, I'll even go that far to say it's going to be bigger and better than ever. I really, really believe that. And that's about it. I know that this is the Christmas season. The thing which I really look forward to is all of the young faces that we're starting to see around town. They're starting to return, and I think that is probably the best part of Christmas that we have for a town like this. So on behalf of the Burgeo Town Council, and I especially want to single out our volunteer fire department and thank them for their dedication to their job during the year 1998. And I know they'll do as good or better job in 1999. I really do want to thank them. And I extend to each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Stay with us for Off the Rack, community events, and the BBS Playbill, all after this. We would like to thank you, our viewers, for tuning in over the past year, and we look forward to your continuing viewing in 1999. We would also like to thank the volunteers for their hard work and dedication during the past year. Season's greetings to all of you from us at the Burgeo Broadcasting System. Off the Rack. This week, as we scanned our tape rack, we came across a tape of a concert held at A.J. Matthews on December 1993. Can you recognize any of these students?
To begin, we want everyone to join in singing Silent Night.
Good evening and welcome to the community event segment of tonight's broadcast. I'm Rhonda Green.
The fire department will be having breakfast with Santa on Wednesday, December the 23rd at the fire hall. Mark it on your calendars so you don't forget. Human Resource Development Canada, in partnership with Human Resources and Employment, will be holding a 2-hour discussion group on January the 4th, 1999 at 1:30 p.m. in the fire hall for youth ages 16 to 24 who are not currently in high school or attending a post-secondary program. The purpose of this group is to discuss the concerns that young people have with regards to finding long-term work. The group is limited to 15, so register early by calling Hit a Hand at 886-3389. The Burgeo Minor Hockey Pool winner last week was Pete Remo. Congratulations, Pete. The hockey pool will resume on January the 7th, 1999. Thank you for your support and Merry Christmas from the Burgeo Minor Hockey. The Burgeo Lions are selling tickets on 3 $100 draws. Tickets are $1 each or 3 for $2. Draw date is December the 24th. If you would like to purchase a ticket, contact any Lions member. If your group or organization has an upcoming event plan, we will be happy to advertise it for you. You can contact the BBS office by Wednesday of each week to have items included in this portion of our broadcast. That concludes the community event segment of tonight's program. See you next week. BBS Playbill. Join us on Monday for the Lions annual Santa Claus Parade. Tune in on Tuesday for a rebroadcasting of Pansy's Garden. Please stay tuned for our Christmas bandwagon. We hope you enjoy it. And I'll be here again next week with This Week in Review. For This Week in Review, I'm Marie Rose. Good night and Merry Christmas.